Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. People love the NCAA tournament because they look and wait for that what? One shining moment. RIP Luther Vandross. However, the Final Four is definitely set in San Antonio. Now, I don't mean to be facetious, but Loyola Chicago, why the hell are they in the Final Four? Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Maybe I'm a little bit salty because they beat my championship prediction, Tennessee. However, they've earned the right to be amongst the best in San Antonio. Loyola Chicago made us believe in Sister Jean, the nun. What is she, 90 plus? And she has told us, beware San Antonio. The Ramblers are coming. Now, what exactly are the Ramblers going to do? They beat Kansas State by 16 in the in the Elite Eight to advance to the Final Four. They're 32-5. They are for real. They're a conference and regular season champion from the Missouri Valley. Now, they've had a road win at Florida earlier this year. However, I'm more concerned about what they've done in the tournament. They knocked off Miami, who beat North Carolina on the road. They knocked off Tennessee, who beat Kentucky twice, and a Sweet 16 participant as well. And they also, on their way, beat Kansas State, who had some good wins in the Big 12. Now, they've shown they can play with the best, but can they really compete with a team like Michigan, who's shown they are hot? Now, Michigan's a number 3 seed, Loyola's an 11. Michigan beat Florida State. Leonard Hamilton had some words with Dana Jacobson after the game because she asked him why didn't he foul with 11 seconds to go up 4. Why didn't you foul Leonard Hamilton? Now, maybe this was just a case of we're just going to go ahead and, concede victory or whatever, but Leonard Hamilton, you should have tried to get the dub. I'm just saying. If I'm a player, I'm a little bit salty, but I understand, Coach, because there's not one play that determines a game. I understand. However, if I'm a player for Florida State, I'm a little salty. Now, Michigan, they are going to be a tough matchup for Loyola. They played their best game of the tournament against Texas A&M. They were 14-24 from 3. They shot so many wet balls. Everything they shot, I thought it was going to go in. Poole, Abdurrahman, Wagner. They've got a great supporting cast there at Michigan to complement Mo Wagner. Now, I'll get to him in just a moment. They were 4 for 22 in the Elite Eight. Now, back to Moritz Wagner. If this kid, I love watching this guy play. I want to say he's German. That name Wagner sounds German. I think he's German. This guy, I love his demeanor on the court. I love how involved he gets with the smack talk. You can't do too much because you get text, but I love it. I played linebacker in college, so I love a guy that likes to run that mouth a little bit. I was that guy in college. Moritz Wagner, if he makes it to the national championship and they win at Michigan, then he will for sure be the most outstanding player there in San Antonio. I do not doubt that. Now, the other side, you got Villanova. They're going to play Kansas. Duke versus Kansas was the best game of the tournament to me. It went to overtime, and this game had a multitude of components that contributed to this being a great Final Four game. The reason I say that, we'll look back on this game, this overtime game, and we'll realize how many pros played in this game. Malik Newman, Devontae Graham, Azubuike, also your boys from Duke, Grayson Allen, he'll be an NBA draft pick, Marvin Bagley, Wendell Carter Jr., they had Gary Trent Jr., Trevon Duval, I could go on and on and on. This game was epic in so many ways. You had the Blue Bloods, you had Coach K versus Bill Self. This game was definitely something that, if you didn't see it, you should have watched it. Malik Newman, he's an unheralded superstar, transfer from Mississippi State and came out and dropped, 32? Baller, and he's going to be the X factor against Villanova. He's got to shoot like that against Villanova because they got shooters. Devontae Graham's a leader. He was a leader to defer to Malik Newman in this game to help him get over the hump. And Duke, why didn't you give Marvin Bagley the post? Give him the ball in the post late in the game. Should have done that. Kansas out-rebounded Duke 47-32, and Bill Self, I know you are proud, sir. So Kansas, do I believe they'll win a national championship? No. My lady, her dad, their whole family, they love the Jayhawks, but I'm just being 100. Kansas ain't going to win it. Villanova's a tough team. They've got the most complete, deep team in the country thus far from what I've seen in the tournament. Before the tournament, I said it was Tennessee, but looking at Villanova, it for sure is Villanova. And, I said that because I watched Tennessee play against Villanova, and I felt like Villanova was the second most complete team in the country. But look where Villanova is and look where Tennessee is. They're at home. So Villanova, for me, they're deep. They got talent up and down the roster. They remind me of the Golden State Warriors. They shoot 47% from 3. They did that during the tournament. Now, I don't know if they shot that against Texas Tech, but up until that game, they were shooting 47%. Now, the free throw shooting is key. Got to be clutch, and they've got clutch players. Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson. They've got Final Four experience. They were on that team when Chris Jenkins hit the shot against North Carolina to win the national championship, and then OG Jay Wright just, was cool about it. I'm a buzzer beater. Okay, great. Appreciate it. Thank you. So Villanova, with Spellman, DiVincenzo, Pascal, those guys are all NBA ready. This starting five, we'll see them playing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, some back-to-backs in the NBA here soon, especially Spellman. I really like his game. Reminds me a little bit of, maybe Draymond Green, a little bigger. Draymond's maybe a little faster, but Spellman, the way he plays above the rim, I think his talent could actually supersede Draymond Green in the near future once he gets into the NBA. If he continues to develop. Now, that's not to take anything away from Draymond Green. Great player, all-star. But from what I see from the Spellman boy, he's a baller. Now, championship game for me, my predictions, Michigan versus Villanova. I think Villanova will overwhelm Michigan in the national championship. I think it'll be a tight game all the way through, but we'll see the junior leadership from Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson take effect, and we will see Villanova win its second national championship within the last 3 years. I guarantee it will happen. Now, moving on to the women's Final Four, Louisville plays Mississippi State, and that's itty bitty, the point guard Morgan Williams versus Asia Durr. She'll drop 40 on you like it ain't nothing. Can Asia Durr really do what it takes? Does Asia Durr really have what it takes to take Louisville to that next step, the national championship, to go up against the big bad wolf, the UConn Huskies? Now, Mississippi State, Morgan Williams, they've been dominant all year. All the one seeds have reached the Final Four. However, Mississippi State, they've got that championship experience. They played there last year. They hit the epic shot against the UConn women. Now, they play Notre Dame, UConn does. This is UConn's 11th straight Final Four, and they remember last year. That shot is etched in the minds forever of those UConn women, and I guarantee you, they will come out and ball. They'll bust Notre Dame. I'm predicting they beat Notre Dame by at least 15, and they beat the defending champs by 30, so of course they're going to beat Notre Dame by 15. And Notre Dame, they were decimated by injuries all year. And I think Muffet McGraw did a great job managing that team, but Gino is in for you, Muffet. I am so sorry. Now, the NBA playoff picture is heating up. The Blazers beat OKC on the road Sunday. It was a great win. It was a great win for the Blazers. And I'll give them credit because, there was a little bit of extracurriculars. Russell Westbrook and Evan Turner, they got into it. However, late in the game, CJ McCollum comes through with a game winner. I want to say he had 34 points. And they bounced back from the Houston game. Because do you guys remember all the build-up to that Houston game? They had the wine interview on ESPN talking about, we here, this, that, this. And then they come out and lay an egg against Houston, CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard. But for them to go into OKC and do what they did on Sunday night, I'm a believer. Maybe. Not quite, but maybe. Now, who will lose first due to injury? Boston or Golden State? Now, if I'm Boston, you need Kyrie Irving. If you got to go against Toronto and potentially LeBron James, you need Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown, who's the most developed player in the NBA. He should win Most Improved Player this year. That's just my personal opinion. He ain't a rookie no more. He's a baller. Now, Golden State, they would play either a Minnesota team or potentially Nuggets if they made it into the playoffs. I don't think Golden State would have too many problems advancing to the second round, especially if they have at least Draymond back and at least KD back. Clay, Steph get well soon. Steph's out. I want to say he'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks, but he sprained his MCL. He'll be back. This is right after coming back from the ankle. People are saying, that's from overcompensating for an injury. Now, it's not overcompensating when a big tree, clumsy guy like JaVale McGee falls on your leg. That's not overcompensating. That's circumstance. It happens. So I really think that Golden State would be the team that could withstand this type of injury. But Boston, y'all need y'all point guard, and y'all need Jaylen Brown. Terry Rozier's a baller, though. Shout out to the Louisville kid. Now, Markelle Fultz returned last night versus the Nuggets. Looked okay. 10 points, 8 assists. The Sixers process is redshirting, so we'll see if the red shirt helped with that ugly shot he's been showing. Now, the NFL, Ndamukong Suh signs a 1-year deal, $14 million with the Rams, and I posted on my IG yesterday that if this happens and you pair him with Aaron Donald, that defensive line will be a bunch of big people eaters in LA. And yeah, they're not on that Cali diet out there. They're coming to eat straight meat. They're carnivores. So Aaron Donald paired with Ndamukong Suh, That line will be dynamic. They'll be powerful. They will make quarterbacks tremble in the sheets at late night in the hotel rooms before they come out to the field on the away games. We got to play these Aaron Donalds and these Ndamukong Suhs. So, I look forward to seeing what the Rams do this year. Michael Bennett turned himself in for a felony charge of injuring the elderly and disabled. Now, evidently, he tried to push his way onto the field in Super Bowl 51, knocked down two elderly patrons and workers who said, hey, you can't come this way. Michael Bennett, I hope it ain't true, because if you're beating up the old folks, you dead wrong. You are dead wrong. Like Trey Songz say, you dead wrong. So, Michael Bennett, I hope that's not the case. If it is, hopefully this can be resolved. This was put on the shelf for 14, 15 months? So I'm not sure what's going on. Have to wait for more details. But the Eagles, I bet they wish they knew about this before they signed Michael Bennett. Now, who do you draft, Sam Darnold or Josh Allen? For me, I saw the same pro day workouts. Josh Allen looked okay, got a strong arm. I can tell he's really cocky a little bit. Don't think he'll be a great quarterback right off the bat in the NFL, but he may get a shot one day. Throws the ball a little too hard for me. Sam Darnold, they talk about his hands being small, but I watch this guy ball and throw great passes and spirals in the rain. So Sam Darnold, he's cool, he's collected, and he don't care where he plays at. And he's pro-ready. He was pro-ready 2 years ago. So for me, I'm drafting Sam Darnold. But we'll talk more about the draft as it gets closer. Now, MLB opening day is March 29th. The Giants won't have Madison Bumgarner for a second straight year. He broke his pinky. He was hit by a line drive. Now, I talked about Mad Bum last year because he got in the ATV accident or motorbike accident, whatever he did, dirt bike accident, and was out for an extended period of time. So Madison Bumgarner, have we seen the last of his greatness? Will he become a 30 for 30 because he just continues to get all these freak injuries and is not available for the Giants? And maybe the dynasty's over. They went and got Andrew McCutchen, but if you don't have Madison Bumgarner, your ace, how can you really compete in that division with the Dodgers? And people have already said they played the Dodgers 10 times in the first 28 games. Not a recipe for success when you don't have your ace. Now, next show, we'll talk about the national championship, reaction, and more. Make sure you keep checking out Zono Sports, where Zoe knows.